welcome back. Let's dive into the steps that you need to take to book your very first International Business Class Award. And while the example we're going to be talking about in these 4 steps is a business class flight, this 4-step process that we're going to talk about works for anything. So if you want to book economy, this still is going to work. It's going to give you that framework that you can take to book any award ticket that you want. So let's break it down into 4 steps that, while the points may change, the airlines may change, the program may change, this basic order of operations is what we use for every award flight. So Chris, let's start it off with step number 1.
All right, so step number 1 is earn points, and that seems pretty easy enough. You're going to choose a transferable currency to start with. Most people like to start with American Express or Chase, but Citi and Capital One are also great places to start as well. If you have a specific destination in mind, you can do some research about which airlines fly there to help you decide, what kind of point to start with. But if you don't know, don't worry. It's okay to just pick a transferable currency and start without having exact plans in mind. You can earn points, most points, through credit card welcome offers and spending on just your everyday spend. And we have a list of our top cards for the month with the best welcome offers, so we'll drop that in the show notes. But one thing to do is to go ahead and just start creating accounts, loyalty accounts with all the major airline programs right now. You don't wait to book, because there are some restrictions about how long you need to have an account open before you transfer points or use some other features in the program. So just rule of thumb, it's generally a good idea to go and open some accounts. And they're all free, so it doesn't cost you anything. If you need to know how many points you're going to need, a good idea for an international business class flight is going to be somewhere around 55 to 80,000 points. That's one way per person. That can go up, that can go down, but that's just kind of to get you in the ballpark of what you should be looking to earn.
Yeah, and earning points is the easiest and probably the most fun step of this whole process. And step 2, I would say, is the hardest step of this whole process. But it's probably the most important one, and that is finding your flight. So we like to use search tools like Rome, Point.me, Points, yeah, Seats.aero. There are so many now. It actually can be kind of overwhelming. And the one thing I will say about these points tools is they all do things slightly differently, but they're all kind of the same. So find one that you particularly like to work with. You don't have to use there's not one that is the best. We have a guide that we wrote. We actually talked to a lot of our writers, and I asked them what their favorite tools were. So we kind of did a compilation of why we like certain tools. So take a look at that. But if you have one you like, go with that. There are free versions of a lot of these, and when you're starting out, a lot of times the free version is enough. So don't think that you have to jump right in and get a subscription to one of these tools, but they are very helpful. So I used Rome to find flights for an example for this episode, and that's what we're going to be referencing over the next couple steps. And I just searched for a flight from the US to Europe next spring, so March or April, which would cover like a spring break trip. And I found lots of options using Air Canada Aeroplan points for 60,000 points one way, and that is in business class. And those flights were on either Lufthansa or Swiss. And I liked this example because it's one that I think you'll see a lot of. I actually booked both of these examples for my Christmas markets trip, which I talked about in episode 37. I booked one way on Lufthansa, one way on Swiss. Both were Air Canada, using Air Canada Aeroplan points, and I think they were each 60,000 points each way. So that's an example you're going to see quite often. So I picked, for this particular episode, a Lufthansa flight from Newark to Frankfurt, and that is booked through Air Canada Aeroplan. So before you do anything else, you found this flight on Rome in this example. Go to the booking website to double check that that flight actually exists. On these award search tools, a lot of times the flights are going to be cached. So you'll have these cached results that maybe the flight was available 3 hours ago, 12 hours ago, 3 days ago. You want to double check on the booking website that that flight is actually available to book. Sometimes you will run into instances where it's showing up on one of these award search tools, but it's not available anymore. So you always always double check.
Good call out there, yeah, because you don't want to. Once your points are transferred, you
yeah.
cannot get them back. All right, so that brings us to step number 3, transferring your points. So once you've confirmed that the flight is available, so on Air Canada, in this example, an Aeroplan, that is when you will transfer your points. So in the example, we need to get our points over to Air Canada Aeroplan. Fortunately, this example, it's one of the easiest to get. You can transfer your points directly from Chase, American Express, Capital One, or Bilt. You just log into your account, and then you go to the redeem points section of each website, connect your account, and then this is going to be the most intimidating part. You're going to transfer your points from your bank to the next program, in this case, Aeroplan.
Yes, and even though I've been doing this for so long, hitting that transfer button, there's still always just
You
a
get
little bit
the
of like, oh
butterflies.
God, did I check everything?
Yeah.
So if you're booking your first flight, your first big award flight, being nervous is totally normal. It's
That's
okay. Just go with it. Make sure you double check that flight was there, but just go with it. We all get nervous at that point, or at least I do. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one.
No, it's real.
Okay, finally, step 4 is booking your flight. So once you've transferred your points, and I would say most of the time those transfers are pretty instant. One time they will not be is if you just create your account right before you transfer your points. So then there might be a lag. So that's why we talked about doing that. As soon as you're earning your points, go ahead and start all of those accounts so you don't have to worry about that. But really, once you have the points in that account in Air Canada, in this example, it's really just like booking cash. You go through, you pick your flight, you get everything just how you want it, and then the cost will show in points plus your taxes and fees. I will say I try to move swiftly at this point just because I'm always nervous that the flight is going to somehow disappear. That's never happened, so like it's fine. Just, be cognizant of that. Don't start booking and then go and do something and get distracted and come back 4 days later. I'm still nervous during this point. I'm always just like, let's just make sure everything works out okay. And then when I hit that booking button, it's a good feeling. You also want to make sure you have a credit card ready to go for your taxes and fees. No matter what you're booking, you're going to have to pay some amount of taxes and fees. It's going to be as low as $5.60. Sometimes for these big international awards, it can be $2, $3, $4, or $500, depending on who you're booking with, where you're booking, all of that. So it can vary. I personally, probably 90% of the time, use my Chase Sapphire Reserve because I earn 4 points per dollar on flights booked directly. And it has excellent travel protections, which I have taken advantage of. And they do trigger when you just pay for your taxes and fees on an award flight. And they do trigger on a one-way award. Some credit cards do not. So I still like using my Chase Sapphire Reserve for my taxes and fees. Chris, what credit card do you have one that you always use, or does it depend on what you're booking?
It's not one that I always use, but lately I've been using my City Strata Premier because I think last year they actually changed their travel insurance, and so it actually got much better. So that's earning whatever, I think it's 3 points, 3x per dollar on travel anyway. So I may be using that card depending on what my goals are. Lately, it's been building American Airline miles, so City transfers to American Airlines. So lately, I've been doing a lot of booking there. But yeah, I'll pick that card up pretty much for the travel protections as well.
Yeah, that's a good option. And really, travel protections on these international flights. It's something I don't necessarily think about for domestic, but I do for international, and they've come in handy, and they do work. And so once you hit that booking button, you are done. Hopefully you get an email right away that says your booking is confirmed, and then you can start celebrating that you just booked your first international award. It is a great feeling. Woo-hoo. And it's a great feeling if it's the first time or the 100th time. It's awesome that when it all comes together and you know that you've got a great flight in your future. So this 4-step process that we discussed is hopefully easily repeatable. And the details are going to change. The prices might change. The airline is going to change. The points and miles is going to change. But that same structure that we talked about, which is really as simple as 4 steps, will always be there. And it's going to work the same for economy. It's going to work the same for business class. So wherever you're falling on that spectrum of points and miles, however you want to travel, that step-by-step process should hopefully help you feel more confident booking international business class or international economy or a flight across the country. We really hope that that helps you. Let us know what you think of that 4-step process and if there's anything else that you do while you are booking your flights.